He was invisible to everyone, except his daughter. And when she walked into that boardroom clutching a crumpled piece of paper, everything changed. Ethan was the kind of man everyone overlooked. At Silverlight Corporation, a place where the marble floors gleamed and voices echoed with power, he was just the janitor, quiet, steady, and unnoticed. His days started before sunrise and often stretched long into the night, cleaning offices where multi-million-dollar decisions were made without anyone ever asking his name. But at home, he had something no executive could buy. He had Lily. Lily was 7, with a habit of drawing animals that looked suspiciously like smiling blobs. She loved her father fiercely, aware even at her young age how hard he worked. Each morning, she'd wait for him at the apartment door with her backpack and a paper folded 3 times over. One drawing a day, that was their tradition. And every time Ethan felt invisible, he'd slip that drawing from his pocket and remember that to someone, he mattered. But on one Friday morning, one that would change his life forever, Ethan was running behind, his routine broken by a late-night shift. He hurried Lily to the school doorstep, promising he'd be home early. But in the haste, a piece of folded paper slipped out from his pocket and fluttered to the floor. He didn't notice. But Lily did. After school, Lily saw her dad's face fall when he reached for the drawing that wasn't there. And that's when she made a decision. "I'll take it to him," she whispered. She remembered where he worked. She'd seen it once, that towering glass building downtown. Her small feet carried her through the revolving doors into a world of polished suits and uneasy stares. She held the drawing tight, on it a simple sketch of a girl holding a man's hand, under bold childish letters, "My daddy is a hero." By chance, or fate, she pushed through the doors of a meeting room. A grand room lined with executives. At the head of the table, CEO Catherine Avery raised her eyes from a screen as the doors swung open. Silence fell. Lily stepped into the center. "My dad dropped this," she said softly, handing it to the stunned CEO. Catherine unfolded the paper. The silence grew heavier. Then her eyes widened. Her expression froze. Catherine Avery stared at the drawing for a moment too long. Her polished demeanor cracked as her gaze moved back to Lily, then to the quiet janitor standing at the doorway, his face red and eyes wide. Ethan had seen his daughter dart in and rushed after her, panic painted across his expression. It wasn't just the embarrassment, it was a lifetime of being overlooked, unseen, and now suddenly exposed. "I'm so sorry," he stammered, reaching for Lily's hand. She didn't mean. But Catherine raised her hand gently. "It's okay. May I ask, is this your dad?" She turned to Lily, showing her the drawing. Lily nodded proudly. "He's my hero." There wasn't a sound in the boardroom. The executives, some irritated moments ago by the interruption, now watched quietly as Catherine placed the drawing on the table. Her expression changed, softened. Something stirred in her that her wealth and title hadn't moved in years. She stood up. "Ethan, how long have you worked here?" 9 years, Ethan replied quietly. "It's just a job." "No," Catherine shook her head, eyes still on the drawing. "It's more than that." She paused, looking at him as if seeing him for the first time. "Last year we lost a proposal draft worth $3 million. I had the office records checked. A maintenance report showed you stayed late to clean that floor the same night. You didn't throw it out. You saw what it was and placed it safely on the desk. Most people wouldn't have cared. You did." Ethan blinked. He remembered that night. But no one had said anything. He had assumed it meant nothing. "That drawing," Catherine continued, "reminded me what this company is supposed to value, people who care." She turned to her executives. "Starting now, I want an internal role created, liaison between operations and administration. Ethan, you know this place inside out. And I want you to train the next batch of facility staff. With a raise. And full benefits." She paused. If you'll accept. There was a beat of silence. Ethan stood motionless. Lily looked up, her grip tightening on his sleeve. Yes, he said finally, voice cracking. The executives applauded lightly. Lily beamed. And Catherine smiled in a way that showed she wasn't just a leader, but human. Final message. In a world that often looks past simple kindness and unnoticed loyalty, sometimes it takes a child's drawing to remind us what truly matters. Titles can be earned. Trust must be kept. But heroism? Sometimes, it wears a janitor's uniform, and loves a little girl enough to keep going, even when no one sees.